Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Conalwork.
And I'm Rangaroo. Hello, hello, hello.
And continuing coverage as always, we have ourselves on the map of Slutsk Vest. Which I know, I always lose that last K in the map, but you know what I don't lose? The people who are playing today, especially not the man playing that Russian division. Who's that loser?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Evelyn playing as 1st Lovas Hungarian Cavalry Division with Vanguard income. And on the right-hand side, we have the loser. Is he gonna win? Is he gonna lose? Who knows?
Stay tuned.
Judging by the name, you know, he might be losing. We wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Nonetheless, he's playing 9th Kavalrie Division, also with the Vanguard income.
Now, guys, of course, since this is the Hungarian division, we will do our best to butcher as many names as we can. One thing I can tell you for sure is that I do not remember anything about their infantry, so help us out, Ryan. Who are we looking for? I know we have the Hussars.
Hungarians?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got... So, there's only 2 raw Hungarian infantry in it that 1st Lovas really cares about. You got a bunch of guys with G43s and AT grenades, and a bunch of guys with G43s and some Swiss machine guns. The G43s are really the awesome part of both squads.
Well, the next question I was going to ask is it the Slutsk, or, again, I'm going to butcher these all game, the Hussars we've seen before, those are the guys with the Swiss machine guns.
Yeah, the Slutsk dudes, if like, those are just like with Botax and rifles instead. So they're not as cool.
How about the Pedosoke?
I have no idea. We'll see when they unload.
Indeed. We do have a rather brave 76 millimeter gun being charged to the front, and despite the fact that we have Taran over here on the left-hand side, I still don't think that field piece is going to make it too far.
No. This is going to be a pretty tough map overall for the Hungarians. Hungarians really like fighting close range and whatnot, and this is a pretty open map. So it's going to be tough to use those Taran tanks effectively.
Man. Well, I guess the question really comes down to whether or not they're hungry like the wolf.
That's true. Oh, the AT rifle in the middle snipes run tracks. And
I missed it. I missed it. How often do you get to see a German, Axis AT team with a anti-tank rifle? It never happens.
Yeah, I always like seeing people use those 36M AT rifle teams early on, because they're very good at Russian, because that AT rifle is bloody, or it's really more of a cannon, is bloody insane.
So the Akasovs, okay, those are the guys that the M39s, basically the Hungarian knockoffs of a submachine gun, and many G43s. Ooh, wow. There is also a 75 mil AT gun to the north.
That's a Pak 40.
I was looking at that for a second, I was like, wait a second, is that a 25-pounder?
Oh yeah, the icon's a bit red. There's a red icon.
Hussars, in the meantime, there are those Swiss machine guns, and where's the last guy? Okay, the Krepis, the Carracks. Wait a second, the Carracks are pretty much Hussars with just,
Botaxons. Yeah, it's just like it's a pretty bog standard, little Hungarian infantry squad.
The funny thing about these is I have absolutely no idea where the initial fighting is going to be going on down, because we see such disparate kind of deployments. We have Cossacks that are coming through these trees, we have Superiors that are there, but they're going to be meeting the G43s and the machine guns in like any second.
Yep. And we got Valentine fighting the Taran, but the Taran's going to have a hard time penetrating, and the Valentine may want to stop moving so he can actually get an accurate shot.
You know, the scary thing is that him even moving that speed is still throwing off his aim. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing.
But there we go, and we've got Emsha Komrati being brought in to help out. And then the tank advantage really goes over to loser, just because, you know, Sherman's pretty much beat out the Hungarian tanks in long range.
Stabilizers, man. What can I say?
Exactly.
The Terrans, though, continue their mad dash forwards, and we'll see very quickly why that is a bad idea. North has kind of petered out. I expect we're going to see just a major push around this kind of central area. And the southern town has pretty much already gone into those Cossack hands right there.
But we are seeing the Husrock move up to try and retake it back. I do have 80 grenades though, which is pretty good. So if they can get in close, they blow up tank. That's what 80 grenades do.
That's good, because I was actually a little concerned about what that was really for. I thought it was more like a firework kind of thing, like you throw it at the tank and like celebrate something. But for the most part,
play horseshoes with you.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a better idea. I'd play horseshoes, exactly.
Explosive horseshoes. You don't have to hit near the pole if you blow up the pole.
I was going to say, pin the grenade on the tank. We might actually see that happen here. I didn't expect to break you like that.
Sorry, I'm. This is a little bit messed up. I'm just imagining like some German instructor teaching a bunch of Hitler youth on how to blow up like an enemy tank by doing like pin the AT grenade on a tank.
I mean, well, I was expecting a guy with like a blindfold and being like, okay, spin him around 3 times. Run toward the sound of Russians.
It's like the German party game. Oh.
Yep, we're going to hell.
That was good. That was one of the best things I've heard all week.
Good. The SARs are going to get picked off here, though. Unfortunately, there is no leadership there. And as fantastic as these guys are in terms of that knife fighting close in, they need some leadership. You can't stick them there without any kind of assistance. It's not going to go well.
Yeah, that definitely didn't work all too well in Evelyn's favor in that attack.
Well, to the north, we are going to see Superiors going up against Hussars, and yeah, there's going to be a big boom. Never mind. Middletown continues to kind of go back and forth. What ended up killing that Valentine? Was that one of the Pack 40? Must have been the Pack 40.
Must have been the Pack 40. Must have been the Pack 40. But yeah, this is one of those matches where stuff's going on everywhere all the time. This is really great. Both sides are just trying to fill the other person's, flanks and openings and try to figure out where would be the best place to push.
Indeed. Now, interestingly enough, this central town might go into Hungarian hands. Depends really how thirsty they are for it.
There's no leadership nearby, so if it's getting a little bit closer, those Arakusuzoks, they can probably capture that last Kazaki SVT.
But I think the biggest issue, though, is there's still that 37mm anti-air gun that can cause quite a bit of an issue there. Also, maybe this is a shadow of the future, but we do see 3 Goering 105mm on the western edge of the map.
Yeah, but long range, I could have. Yeah, it's actually quite a lot of artillery early on. That's probably a very good option for the Hungarians, is you're lacking that long range AT capability, so might as well augment it with a bunch of artillery guns.
Yes, indeed. Now to the north, we're going to see a bit of an abortive push. Yes, the MCHO's right there, and I imagine the second the Germans open up, the MCHO will support the attack pretty effectively. But those guys walking point, I would not want to be them. You could not pay me to be them. And that's going to be pretty much why in a second. Yep, that's one squad. That's the other squad.
Even with the Shermans and whatnot supporting you, it's not exactly an ideal situation to be in.
No, it isn't. Meanwhile, down to the south, this town is being attacked again. More Terrans coming on forward. And I don't think, even with the PTRDs, that these Cossack troops are going to be able to keep things at bay for too long.
No. Once those Hussarooks getting close, just SVTs, man. Not SVTs. Semi-automatic rifles, in general, are just so bloody powerful on SD2 that you're just gonna have a pretty good time dealing with Mosin the gun-armed Kazaki.
One thing that's going to be calling continually in favor, though, of the loser is that he's going to cause a lot of those Hungarian tanks to be lost. Wait, look at this. We have behind enemy lines. We have one back there. He's going to get picked off by this Valentine pretty darn quickly here.
What? How did he get ya?
I'm not even sure he knows the answer to that one.
Just teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid.
Well, he's got to kill. If he takes out the mortar, this actually could be the massive opening that the Hungarians were looking for.
This is the thing I love about the Hungarian cavalry division. You just see crazy stuff like this happen all the time, and it works because they're such cheap and expendable tanks that you can afford to do silly maneuvers like that. And sometimes, as you see, it pays off pretty well.
I was going to say, watch the mortar team get it to surrender. That'd be kind of embarrassing, though.
We got a mortar, and we're not afraid to use it. We'll smack you around the head.
Meanwhile, the town has fallen into Hungarian hands. The Cossack troops down here, they are going to cause a bit of an issue, but they'll be swept aside in a moment. Meanwhile, there's two Tyrannosaurs to the west. One's got a trammed gun and transmission damage. The other one's got crew killed. Oh no, actually, the other's got the transmission destroyed too. Jeez. But don't worry, 3 more are coming in.
Lots of welcome and cheeky coming in, but they're not getting close.
But the 36M in the center, again, I know we're just we're jumping back and forth like crazy, but that's what we have to do here. Massive Hungarian reinforcement to the north. And the 36M in the center has claimed a couple more victims here. Might even get that half-track. See what the truck, the SVT truck, kill it. Kill it with fire!
Our AT rifle squad has knocked out like 3 infantry squads before the Mensa and load so far, I believe. Really paid himself off.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, to the north, these very, very light AT guns, again, they're 40 millimeters. They're barely going to be able to tickle those MCHOs, at least on paper, but 180 penetration, one shooter's knocked out already. And yeah, they're going to annoy them to death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only do like 65 mil pen on regular AP shells, which isn't a lot, but like you said, you can just tickle the enemy to death slowly but surely. But yeah, and those heat shells, I believe it's probably like the rocket thing that you see in like the Pack 36. Only has 800 meter range, so we're not going to have a good time in that regard.
Yeah, the Valentine, oh wow, the Goering artillery is just shelling the center. It's very well done. Valentine goes down. I don't think that's because of the 36M. But it'd be very, very amusing if it was. I think it's because of that Pack 40 to the southwest of the town. That's
definitely it. And really good use of the 105s to just pep that middle area as the loser is bringing in more Valentine to try and steer things up. But if Evelyn manages to get into the forest past the town, that's going to be a real nasty area to take back.
Yes, it will. And I don't know, I feel like the loser's been kind of rocked back on his heels. We are into Phase B, been that way for about 75 seconds, and actually we are going to see one of the few pieces of hardcore anti-tank that Evelyn's got. Here comes that Jagdpanzer to the north.
Oh boy. Yeah, you only get 1 card of hatches in first Lovas. That's like, with unvetted, I believe it's 6 hatches roughly in total.
I think you're right.
I'm gonna guess. It's 6 or 4, one or the other. Nonetheless, it's a handful.
It was 25 or 6 to 4? What? That's what I heard?
It's 6 to 4, 4 to 6.
Oh, okay.
Round it on an even 5. But essentially, I mean, they're going to be very good in this map. Because hatches, they're going to hatch, man. They always are going to hatch. But it's definitely something that you want to try and preserve for as long as possible. Because it's the only proper tank you get with Lovas.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make sure they have a chance to get to the greatest hits. Mortars, in the meantime, are shellacking that Hussar kind of relief column and turning that entire forest into a sylvan grove of death. So I'm very concerned about that infantry there, but the Goering howitzers, by comparison, are just shelling back the other direction. So the artillery here could probably determine the northern flank completely.
Yeah, that definitely feels so. Both sides just have rather clumped up forces. As you see, the loser brings in a bunch of Kazaki to try to retake that northern flag, but yeah, it's just going to come down to a good old long-range infantry fight. And these are Kazaki SVTs all the way up north, so they're going to prove to be a rather big challenge.
Some of them are, yes, that's true. We also have some other Kazakhs that are... They're kind of vanilla, most of the Gaunt DP kind of material. Yeah, one thing is for sure, there are more field guns there. I'm sorry, sir, yes?
Yeah, there's a real slugfest in this northern area. But it does seem like Evelyn's infantry aren't going to be the ones you get pinned down. There's some of the hostile man's getting to the forest. But nope, they're going to be forced to fall back. So, good defense there from the loser. not losing that battle.
No, he's not, but there continues to be this JU-88. He might go down here because of the log. Well, he's logged more time in the behind the flight stick than that poor bomber. But that guy, he has been able to arrest, I would say, a fair bit of the ground fire coming in. And what's more, the 105s continuing their barrage. They've already taken out one mortar position. The other ones are running a little bit lower on munitions overall. So...
Yeah, looking at the middle, things, the loser has managed to stabilize it a little bit, as Evelyn has managed not to make it into the forest. And then down south, yeah, pretty much control of the town. So, yeah, I'm thinking in terms, I don't know where really the loser can push. I mean, maybe the middle is probably his best bet. I mean, up north is also pretty good, but there's also quite a lot of stuff here. But he is winning that engagement so far, and is slowly pushing.
True, but now we have 3 more squads and one of those light tanks moving on in, and the Hetzer's not even yet begun to really fight.
Yeah, really, this is still really anyone's game, to be entirely honest. Evelyn is only winning by a 1 flag advantage.
Being dishonest, I mean, the Hungarians completely have it, but, and I can say that unequivocally. But the SVTs, I think you're absolutely right. I think this Cossack push in the north, I think he's been very much helped by the fact that the Hungarian artillery has been more focused on taking out their opposite numbers than engaging the infantry. I think once that happens, I think that the Cossack push falls completely apart.
Yeah. Because the thing, yeah, up north, Evelyn does have more fire support on their side with the 40mm AT guns, the support guns, the hatches. That will really add up in terms of the fight. Well, the loser's definitely not going to be making much progress up north once those Cossacks go down. Nothing at all to back him up.
No, sir. Now, one thing I thought I was going to be able to say is I looked like for a second I thought I saw the Hetzer had a turret stuck, and I was like, wait a second. Something about that smells fishy.
Nope, that's Tehran.
Yes, it is. Has been a bit of an abortive attempt to go after the center position again. But holding strong, the Hungarians, man. Like, I realized that in the war itself, people kind of made fun of them. These guys are tenacious fighters in this game.
Yeah, the Hungarian cavalry is a really bang-on 1v1 division. Not so much a map like this, as long-range capabilities does hinder you, but by God, they have really good infantry. Really
yes,
nice
do.
Infantry scotch.
Almost as terrifying are the 75, the Pack 40s that they get. Man. That Emcha came into the center, 1 shot, 1 kill. Beautiful shot.
I've seen a Katusha.
Where?
Middle.
Oh, there we go.
There is going to be shooting on more towards the Pack 40 area. Definitely an interesting choice, trying to use it to, kill like a defensive unit rather than using it to, pepper an area and then assault. Because this is not what the Katusha is really designed for.
Well, also,
yeah.
Not to interrupt again, but we also have a bombing run up north. I want a quick call to that before the log comes in and kills. Never mind, I'm sorry. So that was going to be a little bit more impactful than it ended up being.
No, like... This is lagging a little bit behind, but the Hungarian anti-air also doesn't mess around. Also, the Hungarian anti-air also has, armor penetration cells, which is always funny to see.
So I'm sorry, you were saying about the Katyusha and the whole idea of a targeting defensive versus an offensive. Do you want to go a little further into that for me, please?
Yeah, it's just like using it to pinpoint kill one AT gun or one important unit isn't really its intended use. You really want to use it to pepper an area, to stun up everything and then push up, as it's not very good at picking off single units.
So targeting this town to the center, perhaps.
Yeah, it probably would have been the better choice, because then he could move up all his Osnases and Kazaki to retake that point.
Well, the artillery is going to start slamming into them again pretty quickly, and the Cossack push to the north is now completely dead.
Yep, and Evelyn, he has the Nimrod here as well to back him up, and that thing is pretty... It can be pretty scary at long range.
I'm happy you called it the Nimrod. I was like, yay! Again, first Lovas has such crazy material that comes to it. It's so much fun.
It's such a fun division to watch and play. It's like the division that brings a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, but knows how to get inside close enough to use it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. It's like the guy who plays Call of Duty and only uses shotguns.
I hate
It's like
that guy.
you should be using assault rifles, man, because they're more SMGs is usually the more meta thing in Call of Duties, etc. But you gotta respect the guy who just runs around with a pump action shotgun, gets up right in front of you, and blows your face away. Especially in World at War, where you could literally blow someone's face away.
That's a war crime.
It was, but you can't really argue back if you don't have a face.
That is also certainly true. Now the Katyusha is a little bit close to the front line there, comrade.
Yeah, mate, that's a little bit ballsy. I mean, at least he does have cover, so he's not being seen, but still a little bit close.
Yeah, and there certainly is the importance of not being seen. I don't like how far forward this entire artillery park is. I get there's a 76 Zis there, but I am not a fan.
Yeah, the 122. Yeah, it's a lot. On one end, you can use the 122 as that's a pretty effective AT gun because it's essentially an IS-2 AT gun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely more. I'd say something you want to keep more towards the back. At the same time, as you're looking at it, it doesn't have any artillery observers out, so having it close up to be a bit more accurate, and it's an inaccurate artillery fire is probably the best bet.
True. Now we are going to see some rather bananas size cannon to the north. I haven't seen a 31M in a long time either. It's going to get a nice little close-in shot there.
That's a big gun. It's also a very weird caliber. 149. You think the designers could have been, hey, let's just add 1 more millimeter to round off. But no.
Hey. You are not going to body shame that breach.
Deep down inside, I'm just a 105mm artillery gun, okay?
That's really my goal, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's my goal. That's my goal bore. Oh, man, alive. To the north, T-70 comes up and immediately gets 86'd. But these 45mm will probably get to cut its own pound of flesh here, taking away a couple of the Terrans. And he does get a kill, but at what cost? At this point, you cannot be the Cossacks and exchange AT weapons with that kind of blithe indifference. Again, Hungarians, many worthless tanks. Cossacks, not really that many worthless AT guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cossacks, you do have a rather limited AT gun selection. Heck, even more towards the tanks, you don't have that much. At the same time, in this sort of matchup, Shermans are much better in this sort of match compared to the Hungarian tanks.
Sounds about right, but it looks like we're going to get another bombing run to the north, but there's also a Zis down there with the dual 25mm. It's a rather optimistic bombing run.
Yeah, that thing will really mess you up, as we clearly see. Yeah.
Did he get the bombs off? He got 1 bomb off. I don't think he's going to get everything.
But he does lose the AA gun now, unfortunately.
And the bomb comes in just enough spot to take out the recon troops. Yikes.
They're not going to be seeing anything.
They never saw it coming.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 5 more squads of infantry to the north. Yeah, jeez, this artillery has been constant and effective. I really am impressed by the way that Evelyn has been playing this Hungarian division.
Mm-hmm. This northern push is definitely going rather well. This is much more shooted territory where it's fighting in right now, where you got a lot of line sight blockers, where you can get in nice and close. But the infantry advantage with all the G43 dudes definitely helps out against more of the regular Kazaki loadouts. At the same time, for 9th Cossacks, that B-Phase SVT card, you can get like 24 of them. Highly recommend taking that card.
This definitely sounds like it's going to be a really good idea here. It is 1410. I will say one thing that's been interesting to observe is that despite the fact that the loser has been dropping units pretty much right, left, and center, he has not been losing flags, which I'm surprised about because there's some very giftable ones in the northern central part of the map. And some would even argue, I would say, that northernmost flag right now is still under Russian control. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the Cossacks, I feel like for some reason I read someplace that they were at one point Hungarians. Am I wrong on that? Do you know?
I have no idea. I know the Soviets didn't like Cossack people and kind of tried to get rid of them a few times, but that's all I really know.
If anyone out there can please... Ooh, wow. New support truck gets completely blown to pieces. If anyone out there can please give me a little more of a history into the Cossacks, I'd appreciate it. You don't have to spam the entire way through, but give me a little bit of a knowledge. So now at one point the Cossacks were seen as being the ultimate light cavalry. Just completely and totally horrible people after the fight was done. But, in any case. Northern side, we are going to get a couple of those T-34s have coming on in at long last. But when they're outnumbered 4 or 5 to 1, those are odds that even a Sherman would like going after a Tiger. So, 3 to 1, maybe a little bit less so.
This is
2 to 1, maybe a little less so.
This is a perfect territory for that Sherman to be in, because even this sort of matchup just shows medium tanks are just gonna eat up the Hungarians in a head-on fight. It's what I mean about the Hungarians being like a knife fighter. You gotta get in close, you gotta flank around to have a chance at killing the Sherman and T-34.
Or just being in one of your 40mm, it just seems to kind of kill things with absolutely no issue.
Oh, that too. That's also a very good idea.
Now, I am fascinated by the fact that the entire Carrick push was just like, okay, boys, we're going to line up on the road and then march forwards.
Road or one strategy. What could go wrong?
You can't trust those guys to actually be able to fire together if they're not next to each other.
It's true. It's true.
Where is our artillery coming from? Oh, that 122. Okay, never mind. That's a rather bizarre bore as well, though, too, as to...
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. I guess it means something in inches, like it probably rounds up to something nice in inches, maybe?
Well, 122mm is what, 12 centimeters, 2.2 centimeters, so you're looking at about 5.5 inch?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what they're trying to go for. Maybe, you know, a Soviet millimeter is different than a German millimeter.
Well, do you know they're not going to
use
imperial? We're not going to use imperial. We use metric for a reason.
That's true.
Reminds us too much of our now dead Tsar, who we killed rather viciously. Another company and a half, another platoon and a half of those Terrans coming in, escorting a Jagdpanzer to the front, which I kind of feel like is really the biggest point for the Terrans to be doing this entire time. They don't really have a whole lot of purpose, I would say, other than that currently.
Yeah, they just need to try and just book it down, run flank, preferably just down the road where he's got a huge line of infantry push, and just try to go down the road and then flank up north and maybe get a side shot in the T-34. That's really their best bet.
Asking an awful lot from them, though.
Yeah, it is. It is, but hopefully, they'll get something done. If not, they die and you only lose like 150 points worth of tanks, which isn't that bad for 5 tanks.
Yeah, exactly. And look, they get to the front faster than those rinky-dink World War I tanks with, one machine gun who go 10 miles an hour on the road. I believe so. I'm so used to the paper tanks.
FT-17s?
I think so. I can't remember. It's the one at the German division who's able to call in all of their 10 and 20 points apiece.
Yeah, the FT-17s.
I think I'm going to call them the origami tanks from now on. But 28.5 minutes in, I'm not going to say we see the writing on the wall just yet, because there's definitely is the possibility to be using these tanks a little more effectively. I think he's been very, very unlucky with how some of this shooting has gone. There we go. There's 13 Terrans being brought on in. Oh my gosh.
This is what you do. This is how you play Hungarian cavalry, guys. You just spam the Terrans. Just what you need to do. And then now he's pushing through, and as he kills like 2 suits of the Terran there, very sneaky flank around, and the Sherman and T-34 just not in a good enough spot.
I thought for half a second it was going to be the artillery, but just to see that entire block of white just appear on the map, that was just quite humorous.
Yeah, but no, artillery's all firing. That's... Yeah, the northern flank is pretty much gone.
Here's the pushback. What would happen if they pushed all that stuff in the center? Is this a moment of just we put the Katyusha just too close to the front?
Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, Loser probably would have had a pretty good chance if he actually pushed center a little bit more, put some pressure, yeah, but once again it comes down to that, you know, pretty important infantry fight, and Hungarians are in.
I was really hoping to see that entire column. Oh my gosh, I did not expect the KD to be quite that severe.
It didn't feel that bad, because even though the Loser lost, he did a pretty good job of holding.
Yeah, he really did.
I mean, he lost rather well. I have to admit, even though the KD doesn't say otherwise.
Well, this is why. Francia, 75 mil, the Pack 40, won 2 MCHs, a T-34 Razvedka, and 2 Valentines.
Good golly.
Really well done on those anti-tank placements.
75 mils port gun, like Cowper? I believe it's a port gun.
1 second. Oh yeah, that guy right there, yes. Being able to kill 2 tanks and to barrage 2 more squads of infantry, again, really, really good play here. The 149, he's got 6 kills. Hussars, we have a Hussar squad who's killed 4 squads. Man.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal in terms of kills, but...
Hey man, when you're hungry for more.
But yeah, great match from both sides. Really good job.
Sincerely, very well done to both. Let's not look at the chronology. That doesn't really tell it through the whole tale of the tape there. But with that in mind, Evelyn, really great play with the Hungarians. The Loser, unfortunately, true to the namesake today, but I know next time he's going to come back out swinging, so hopefully we see some more from him. Any last pearls of wisdom, sir?
Cossacks are better on horses, I guess.
You know, someone was made that comment to me recently that they really wish we could see the Raitas coming in actually on horseback and then like hopping off and being deployed that way.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or, like, as I know, there's this one World War II picture of like, I don't know, some German soldiers shooting a Kar-98 on a horse, and that just looks cool. This guys on horses with modern rifles and whatnot. It's always a cool picture.
Or bicycle troops. I'll take some bicycle troops.
You can't go wrong with bicycle troops, man.
Nah. But you know what? That's got to wait until we bring the Japanese divisions into everything. So don't hold your breath, everybody. But until then, until next time, folks, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.